You're listening to Your Daily Dungeon, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast by Your Daily Nerd.
Hey, welcome back to Your Daily Dungeon, proudly presented by Your Daily Nerd, episode 12, The Dungeoning. Let's see here.
Is that what we're calling it? The dungeon?
No, we're not.
Two dungeons, too furious.
2 dungeons, 1 cup.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Oh, gross. So
Well,
I
the
believe
podcast has been canceled.
Thanks,
I
Dijo.
believe I asked you guys for initiative, right?
I don't think we actually rolled it.
Yeah,
No,
so
we
go
didn't.
ahead and roll it, please.
Your boy rolled a 23 on a natural 20.
Nice.
16.
15 for me.
6.
Okay, so going from the top, I heard Davros is first. Anybody from 20 to 15?
I got a 15.
16. I got a 16.
We should probably I feel like people probably know our voices by now, but we should probably get into a habit of just saying like, "Hey, Amnon got a 15," or just as a helpful for Ian as well.
So 14 to 10.
I got a 13.
Yes, Mil.
No, I'm pretty sure if Ian didn't know my voice by now, that would be what drove me over the edge.
And I'm about to break.
And I'm about to...
9 to 5.
That's me. I got a 6.
Freaking 9 to 5. I got an 8.
So Nork.
1, 2, 5. Oh man.
Have you ever rolled well on initiative,
Nope.
Adam?
No, I have not. Never.
In any
All right,
game
Davros,
you've ever
you
played.
go first. Davros, you're standing. You're still in the side room.
Yes,
you're
I
basically-
am.
You're basically looking down at one of the holes, and you can see the fight is happening elsewhere. You're gonna have to either drop down or open up the trapdoor to your right and go down by the stairs, or you can drop down 10 feet. It's up to you.
I can see the ground below me, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just drop down. Can I make, like, a dexterity check or anything like that?
An acrobatics check.
Yeah, acrobatics, that's what it's called.
Okay.
It's a 20 total.
All right. So you only take 2 points of damage on the fall.
I can deal with that. Do I still have, like, a movement or anything, or not?
You leap down, you roll, and you've got about half your movement. You can sit there fighting you. They're fighting in the center of the room, about 15 so feet away from you.
So I'm sure I can point out who the bad guy is, right? The vampire spawned.
There's one holding Dijo.
And I just
He's probably the good guy.
He's about to rid the world of Dijo. Of course he
I
is.
also yelled Dijo and casted Scorching Ray at the dude holding him.
Can you describe him to me since it's the first time I'm seeing him?
Yes, it's a scrawny male human in tattered rags, barefoot, short sleeves. He's got claws, and he's kind of got like black or brownish hair that's kind of ragged about the side of his head and all scraggly. He's got his back to you, so his facial features are hidden to you.
Can I
He
see
stands at
any?
about 5. He stands at about 5'9".
I'm assuming there's no like equipment or anything I can see on him.
No, he looks completely like barehanded.
And I'm guessing I don't have enough of an action left to cast a spell or anything like that.
You can cast like a cantrip or something, I believe. No, I mean you can actually still cast a regular spell because you only used a movement.
Cool. Would he be affected by hold person, or is that something that would be unknown to me?
You want to make a nature check?
He has to make a wisdom saving throw
No,
against it.
I was saying, would you like to make make a nature check?
Ah,
The spell would work.
I didn't hear what you said. Yeah. Let me go for it. It is. Where did it go? It just popped up. Why did it disappear? 13.
So the creature appears to be humanoid in nature and is of a person-like stature. It is possible it could work. You're not entirely confident.
Davros is feeling good about it. I'm gonna go for it.
A wisdom save?
Mhm.
Yeah, fail.
All right, cool. So if it affects him, he's paralyzed.
All right. It's his turn. He regenerates health.
He can make another wisdom saving throw at the end of each of his turns.
Uh-huh. Yep. He's going to do so. He fails again, so he's still paralyzed. Okay, it's now Djo's turn.
So he's just holding me paralyzed.
No, he fell to the ground, paralyzed and moving. He dropped you.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
sweet. All right, Ian.
Mhm.
I can use silvered weapons against him, right?
Yeah, sure. So Djo, you would also hear above you, the father say, "Don't kill my son."
It's free real estate.
I hear him say that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stab the guy with my silver sword. My silver short sword.
All right.
And
I do believe taking damage ends hold person's effect, doesn't it?
wait, does it?
It does not
Okay.
say anything about it.
Sometimes spells end effects when they take damage, so I assume that's not one of them.
Yeah, no. All it says is choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. Duration is concentration up to a minute. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. If it succeeds, it's free.
Okay.
And then it scales up.
So what you gonna do, dear? You're gonna hit him?
Yep, I'm gonna hit him.
You may
And,
roll at advantage.
Yeah. Sweet. Oh. I got a 25 total.
That's a hit.
All right. Now let's see. That's 6. And then I roll my sneak attack, right? Which is-
No, he's very aware of you.
Oh, okay.
On top of the fact that there's really nothing giving you like advantage in that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait a second.
All right.
Being paralyzed doesn't give him advantage?
It gives him advantage, but it doesn't give him sneak attack. At least not in the traditional sense of the way it describes it. He's not.
He's
you know,
not surrounded, or is there anyone? There's not anyone within 5 feet of him besides me or anything.
There's Nork, but I'm just saying you don't get sneak attack. There's really no reason that you should deal sneak attack damage to him in this instance.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely advantage. But
Yeah.
he's doesn't. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's a D6. 4.
Okay. And it's Amnon's turn. Amnon, you want to drop down?
No, I'm gonna stay where I am. Well, he's on the ground, isn't he? So that would be disadvantage for my Eldritch Blast, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually I'm gonna use my movement to walk over to the father,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say to him like, "Look, we don't want to kill your son, but we need to know what's going on here, and we need to you need to have some kind of solution for us that does not involve killing him. Otherwise, we have no choice."
Okay. That's how you're gonna spend your action?
Yep.
Okay. So Amnon, next thing you hear is the sounds of the Dragonborn leap down to the bottom. His heavy mailed steps land on the ground next to the vampire, and he unsheaths his sword, kind of spins the tip around, and he kind of says a prayer into the sword before taking the great sword, spinning it hand side up, and he's gonna attack the guy twice.
Well, I won't kill him, but I
Hits. Thank you for making it easy, Swank.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right, he does 19 points of damage. The vampire spawn falls unconscious. You can't kill a vampire spawn that way, so he's just unconscious. Mel, it's your turn.
I'm also gonna go over to the dad, but I'm playing into this aggressive Mel thing. So I just grab the dad, but he's wearing like robes.
Yeah.
Just grab him by the robes, pull him towards me, and say, "Give us one good reason not to kill that monster."
we're playing good cop, bad cop, but the guy that looks like the devil is the good cop.
He looks at you, and you see tears in his eyes, and he says, "Because he's my son. Have you no family members that you love? Have we not lost enough?"
All right. That kind of resonates with him. And so he's like, you said it yourself. You can barely stand to look at him. You think this is living for him? You think this is fair to him?
What would you have me do?
Put him out of his goddamn misery.
This isn't living anymore. He's now a slave to you.
Would I know of any possible way to cure the vampirism?
You can roll a religion check and roll a persuasion check. Swank. Not Swank. Sorry. Eric.
Would there be any like non-religious methods that a druid might know of?
Nature. Yeah, you can roll a nature check.
Persuasion. That's just a flat roll. 15.
A 17, 15 plus 2.
So the father spends some moments looking at you, and he kind of lowers his eye, and he says, "I just don't want to see it."
I rolled a 20 total in the religion check.
Okay.
So I just kind of like go over to is Watt down there? Watt, is he down there?
Yes. What did Watt roll on a religion check?
17 plus 3, 20.
Oh. You would know probably the only way to really cure a vampire would be to either drag it into sunlight for about an hour, which has a strong possibility of killing the person in the process, or divine cure, which is the more difficult of the two options. There's also no sunlight in Barovia.
Okay, then.
What about the more natural methods? I rolled a 17.
Sunlight.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's what I thought.
Okay. So I just I turn to Amnon. I'm just like I nod my head over there. I'm just like, make it quick.
It's Norik's turn.
And I pull the priest aside and I bring him to like the other side of the room and I kind of like console him.
Okay. It's Norik's turn. Does somebody inform Norik that you guys are good to kill the vampire?
Yeah, I'll call over and I'll just go like, "Hey guys, make it quick, make it painless as possible."
Norik, he's unconscious, and Davros could inform you that the vampire doesn't resist non-magical weapons and items.
Okay. Would I know?
With Norik's, no, sorry. Go ahead and give me a nature check note just for the shits and giggles. But Davros could probably tell you anyway. So could Watt, unless you just want to ask them straight up.
That's a 7, so I'll go ahead and just ask.
Yeah, like how do I kill it?
Do like standard vampire rules apply here, like wooden stakes, blah blah blah?
Yeah, but obviously Norik doesn't know anything about it.
Stupid piece of shit. So he asks, yeah, who's down in the?
Watt and Davros can both answer you.
Yeah, we're both down here.
I ask both of them. Can I just use my greatsword, which they would know is silvered.
So the silvered would work on it?
No.
No? Okay. So it'd have to be something magical?
A stake just paralyzes it. To kill a vampire, it's a little more complicated than that. You have to stake it in the heart and then kill it inside of its own coffin. There is one down here. There is a coffin down here.
Okay, so I'll let him know that and I guess move the body to the coffin while it's unconscious.
Okay, so I guess I if he relays that information to me, I'm gonna look. Are there any big splintered wood from when I was thrown into one of the beams or anything?
You want to make a stake, you said?
Just wondering if there's something like that lying around.
You can definitely. I mean, there's a bunch of splintered wood upstairs in the upstairs. You'll have to get Watt to probably bless it.
Follow up. I'm gonna say, would you mind throwing me just a big sharp piece of wood?
Are we out of combat now at this point?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I'll go over to one of like the pew areas that are kind of like been destroyed and find a big enough like stake looking piece of wood and toss it down to him.
Okay.
So I guess I ask, bless it.
You see Saladin reach into his bag and he pulls out what looks to be like a holy symbol, and he like approaches you and he kind of like ties it around the stake.
He says, "Rub a dub dub. Thanks for the grub. Yay God.
Yay God."
Now we can eat.
Awesome. Now let's eat some vampire, guys.
God.
Tasty.
So
I,
you go to stake him.
I stake him in the heart.
All right, give me a perception check.
That doesn't sound good.
Does a 21 pass?
Yes. So you look at him and you see that he's faking being unconscious.
How close am I to him right now?
Only about 5 feet. You're about to stake him.
He is still
Can
paralyzed, just friendly reminder.
Then can I hit him with a shocking grasp?
Sure.
Even if he is faking, he cannot do anything.
I mean, at some point, Swank, he would have passed your rolls. If you want me to, I can roll 5 rolls consecutively, but at some point, he's gonna pass your save.
Fair enough.
Also, did he ever actually go unconscious, or because if he did, the spell might have like passed on him after he went unconscious?
He literally did go unconscious, but they regenerate health over time.
Right. That's what I'm saying is that when he went unconscious, the spell could have ended.
No, that's not really how it works. I don't think.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm thinking the other way around. My bad.
Yeah, they stop actively resisting the spell at that point. And even still, he would regenerate and then start making saves. And he's been faking being unconscious for some time now. So.
Oh yeah, no. If it's past a minute, then he's fine.
So you're gonna reach down and shock and grasp him. Go ahead and make the roll to hit.
Okay.
You may do so at advantage.
Perfect. So 19.
That's a hit. Roll damage. 5. Okay. You shock him, and you see his eyes jut open as he reaches up and grabs your throat, Norik, and he spins over, and now he's on top of Norik, and you see his claws extend, and he slides them up to Norik's neck, and he looks at everybody, and he says, "Feed me or he dies."
Curious question: what would happen if a vampire spawn tried to eat a revenant?
You could always find out.
Would I recognize him as a revenant? That spell has been broken.
Recognize it. Yeah, he's definitely his armor is no longer glamoring his appearance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna to the vampire say, I mean, try it. He'll just be back tomorrow.
No, he's grabbed Norik, not the
Norik.
Dragon Ball. He's got Norik.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, my bad.
Can I try something weird?
Sure.
Do I see?
That's my favorite thing to hear in D&D.
So I'm guessing that this vampire, is he standing up now? If I try to throw something at him, would it?
No, he basically Norik reached down, grabbed him, and shocked him. He rolled over on top of Norik and shoved his fingers up against Norik's neck, and it looks like he extended his claws a little bit into Norik's neck. He's basically got a blade to Norik's throat at this point. If there's something Norik would like to try to do, you can think about it and tell me after Amnon has decided what he wants to do.
I'm trying to think.
Saladin's going to cast Sanctuary on Norik.
All right.
Literally.
All right, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, so Saladin casts Sanctuary on Norik, and he says,
He's done this.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I'm aware that he's done this.
Yeah, you can tell that you now have a protective spell around you.
So cool. With that in mind, can I, as a bonus action, cast Branding Smite on one of my daggers and throw the actually, Branding Smite on my scimitar and throw it at the vampire.
Go ahead and roll the hit.
That is a 15.
You hit it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's also hang on, it's a tie. So it strikes him, and it bounces off of him, and it looks like it just barely actually missed, hurting him significantly.
Damn it.
He's going to attempt to coup de grace you, Norik, or that's not a thing anymore, but you're in a not great position, so he's going to try to stab you in the throat. Gotta roll a save.
In reaction to seeing him going for the throat, can I gust of wind blow him off of Norik?
No, because I had an action prepared for basically an attack. Basically, he makes whatever. Basically, somebody doing something prompts his reaction. So anything other than what he asked would have prompted him to stab Norik in the throat. He passes the save for Sanctuary, and he stabs you in the throat, Norik.
Okay.
You're instantly unconscious.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah, HP isn't a thing when you're on the ground with a knife to your throat.
Can cast to ask, would I be able to cast shield as a reaction?
Yes, you may.
Ooh.
I do that, my dude.
All right, he only rolled a 20 to hit, so with shield, does that block it? Is it tie?
Crap, hold on.
I think you're wearing plate armor, aren't you?
It's a 23.
Oof. Oh yeah, because it adds 4 to your AC, doesn't it?
It's 5.
Yikes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he actually does wind up missing you. And Amnon casts Gust to win. You and him have to make a strength save.
Let's see. Yes, strength save.
Okay. The wind blows him off, and he slams into one of the pillars. You hear the sounds of bone crunching as he kind of wraps around the pillar, and he just kind of like slumps down the end of it, looking authentically unconscious.
Do I still have to make a strength save for
Yes.
his gust of wind?
Yep.
Okay, that's an 18.
You pass, so it won't move you.
When I see him get blown off, do I still have the relic stake thing in my hand?
Yes.
You
Can
do.
I?
Your movement speed is halved if you're in the.
Dispel it.
Oh yeah, now that he's off, sure.
So after,
Just keep it there.
well, yeah, you got to make it challenging,
It's
dude.
part of the plan.
I mean, as soon as he's off of me, I run over, I stake him in the heart. I pick up the body, coffin,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
push the body over to the coffin.
Yeah. You set it down, and Saladin kind of walks over, cracks his knuckles, and he holds both of his hands out over the coffin, and he says, "Does the father want to give his son any last words?"
No, he said make it quick.
He looks over at Nork and says, "Should have told the son that his father wanted it to be quick. He kept fighting."
Ah, that's what we should have done.
Saladin cast several Eldritch blasts over a few seconds into the coffin, just obliterating the body.
Can I look at Saladin and I go?
What'd you say?
I look at Saladin and I go. I definitely weakened him for you.
He says,
Yeah, I think he's dead.
I mean, you did. I did. I don't think I hit him. You did all the work. Congratulations. He clamps you on the shoulder. He turns around and looks over at Amnon. Did you say something, Amnon?
I said I could have done that too.
No. He says, probably better. I'm not particularly that great at the spell.
It's like the only spell I do. I mean, obviously, you've seen my exam. You've seen what happens when I cast spells that are not Eldritch Blast and point to my sword that's just laying there, like glowing with radiant energy.
He walks over and he picks it up and he's like, "You want it back?" Motioning it like he's gonna toss it.
I'll just like do a quick like hand motion and it'll flash out of his hand and back into mine. No need. And
He kind
I'll
of
just
looks
make it
down at
disappear
he looks
again.
he looks down at his hand, looks back up at you, and then he makes the motion like he threw it, and he's like, "Ah, beat you to it."
Yeah, he sounds like he might be a couple copper short. So I'm gonna just walk away.
He was being sarcastic.
Amnon doesn't know that. He very, very did not read the sarcasm. He's just gonna walk away.
And then just walks away so proud of himself, like, what a dumbass.
Showed that guy.
Saladin looks over at Dijo and Nork and says, "You want a boost?" And he points up to the ceiling, which he's only about 3 feet shorter than.
Hell yeah. I'll take a boost.
He lifts you up pretty effortlessly. Dijo, you're pretty light.
Hi.
He asked Davros if he wants a boost. Davros.
I'm sorry, you cut out. All I heard was my name.
Would you like a boost up to the second floor?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Saladin boosts you up. Let's see here. Do you want to boost up, Nork? Or are you gonna get up there by yourself?
I get up there by myself because Mama
Stubborn.
didn't raise no bitch.
All right, give me an athletics check to jump straight up out of the hole.
Oh. Ooh.
Hobgoblin got jumps.
17 do it.
Holy shit! Well, I mean, it's a 1-for-1 as far as distance goes, so yeah. You literally jump like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, almost 4 Saladin heights in length. You excessively clear the hole and hit your head on the roof of the other floor.
I act like I
You meant to do that.
and I'm just kind of like cake.
Saladin's gonna jump back up.
All right.
Oof. You see the father has been kind of like huddled in one of the destroyed pews, crying next to you, Mel.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there like it's okay, it's okay.
I'm gonna walk up next to them and I'm gonna kind of crouch down next to the father and just be like, it's done. He's not in pain anymore, and he's not gonna cause any pain for anybody else.
He kind of looks over at you and nods his head, and he says, "I couldn't do it when he came back. All I could do was see my son's face, and not the monster he was. I don't know how anyone could kill a loved one." You hear Saladin chuckle and say, "Easy. You just hold up your sword." Oh, it was a rhetorical question. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna shoot a dirty look at him, like, dude, read the room.
And whenever says that, Norik kind of pauses for a second, and he gets this really solemn look on his face, and he says, "That's definitely a have to make."
The father looks up and he says, "I don't mean to pry, but what manner of creature are you? Never seen such a thing."
I'm what you call a hobgoblin.
He cocks an eyebrow, genuinely curious.
And then I guess I say, taller and a little stronger, more intelligent. Talking myself up, but
Yeah. Saladin chuckles and says, "It's kind of easy to be taller and stronger when your relative's 3 feet high." He says,
Who's
"It's
3
like
feet high?
goblins." Saladin looks over at Norik and says, "It's like me bragging about being bigger and stronger than kobolds."
Norik just kind of, he's the meme where the stick guy is about to say something and then just kind of is like,
Well, actually, he's like, wait a minute.
I guess.
The father looks up at Saladin and goes like, "Kobolds, goblins, you're not from Barovia, are you?"
No, we're not.
He sighs and says, "Look, I don't want to be a bother, but I don't think I can bless this body this evening."
I think that's a little understandable. I know what it's like to lose a loved one, so.
He stands up and says, I really don't want to be a bother, but I know what you did, what you felt must be done, but I don't think I can help you with this, with the Burgomaster's body. I won't bless him for you."
Okay, well, you see, that's not for us. You know, we're not here for us right now. We're here for somebody else, somebody that you know.
Ease, Mark. You want to name drop? You know who you work for.
Yeah. I forgot her name. Hold on. I
Irina.
Irina. We're here for Irina.
He kind of looks at you and he says, "Why did she not send herself or her brother then? She sent her brute of a bodyguard."
I don't know the specifics. I know she can't leave the house.
Saladin scratches his forehead and looks at Mel and says, "Did you just call me a brute? Hey, I resemble that remark."
Yes, you do.
Not about you. Not about you, Saladin.
He nods his head and sits down in one of the pews, and it crumbles beneath his ass. The father looks up at you, Mel, and he says, "I'm sorry, I can't help you. I understand that you think what you've done here is a good thing, but I need to think about this. My son is dead. Whether Strahd killed him or you is yet for me to decide."
Well, I'm not the one you need to answer to.
What? Roll an insight check.
All right. That's a 14.
Alrighty. So you kind of believe that since you're now an envoy of the Morning Lord, that you could probably do that for him. Don't need him to give you permission.
Yeah, I was about to. I'll bring it up. Like, we might not need him. I can probably do this for us.
I mean, is there anything specific that you would need to, learn from this guy to do it, or?
It's just straightforward a clerical duty.
Yeah.
All right.
If it's just preparing a body for a funeral, yeah, I can just.
To be
do it
fair,
here.
at the time you made the agreement, Watt was dead, so you didn't really have the.
Yeah, I'm like, if that's why y'all were here, we didn't have to go through any of this mess. I could have just done it a while ago.
You would dead.
You've
They
been
literally
dead.
had to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Last
Yeah,
time
but
we
like-
saw you, you were a corpse.
Last time you saw him, his chest was concave and blood was spurting out his eyes and nose. He got crushed.
I'm like, then I'm just like, you guys should have just been more patient.
I'm sorry that the world did not wait for you to come back from the dead.
Saladin
By the
looks
way-
at you.
by the way, we
Saladin
didn't
looks
finish-
at you as
We
Go ahead,
didn't
sorry.
finish your physical, so take off the armor. No,
Saladin.
never mind.
Saladin looks at you, Mel, when you make that comment about the world not waiting for you. He's like, I have a friend who said the same thing to me when I came back.
Who was it?
He says, "Oh, a man with a funny hat and a feather in it. He's kind of an asshole. He kept on shooting me in the head when he found out that you can kill a revenant, and there's no repercussion to it. We just come back a few hours later, reformed."
That's weird.
I look at Watt.
I look around and I look at Dijo. I see him look at me and I'm like, no.
I wouldn't do that.
Sacrifice.
No. It hurts.
I turn to Saladin. Can you confirm or deny that?
He says, after having been shot in the head about 20 to 30 times, yes, I would say that it hurts.
So wait, you said a guy with a feather in his hat?
He nods his head.
Does that ring a bell, Ian?
No.
No?
Sounds like
Not-
Yankee Doodle.
Well, thought we might get some macaroni.
Yeah, stuck a feather in his hat. Called it macaroni.
I'll tell you this much. With your knowledge of Strahd and his capabilities as the domain, you know that Strahd exists on multiple planes of existence at the same time, Eric. So it's entirely possible that when people reference things here, they're not necessarily mentioning Strahd's feats in this particular, I wouldn't say timeline, but timeline.
Okay.
The land that you're in is a very much so mixed amalgam of the different things Strahd's controls. This is his domain, and whether or not he chooses to shape the time-space dimension around you is up to him.
Well, shit.
Well,
That kind of sucks.
well, why? If you can perform these rites for this man, then we don't need this guy. Then let's get to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Um,
respectfully ask the guy if we can use his church for this, or if we should take the body somewhere else.
He looks at you and he says, "If you deem it worthy to bless our beloved burgomaster upon my altar in this accursed church, be my guest."
I'm like, well, the curse is gone now, and if you'll let us, then let's get to it, guys.
Yay, we won. We beat Curse of Strahd. We beat the curse is gone. Great game, everybody.
We killed.
God
That
damn
was
it.
Strahd that we killed, right?
So
Yes.
you guys are standing around and you hear the church bell, ding and dong, bing bong, midnight.
Oof.
And at the stroke of midnight, you hear the sounds of kind of eerie wails and screams as the boarded up windows start to have this ghastly green smoke churn its way through the holes. It swirls in the air above you, and you can hear the sounds of mailed footsteps dragging bows and weapons, and the sounds of stone clattering as things walk across it, as if the church itself is being surrounded by footsteps and noises.
You guys don't think we're gonna have to deal with this, do you?
I'm like, are these the creatures that come out at night?
The father looks up at you and he says, "No, it is the march of the dead. Of all of those who oppose Strahd, their souls forever trapped here. All of those who would fight him now, in the past, and the future, eternally damned to dance this final dance of theirs. Those who fell in battle with Strahd may never leave his domain and are cursed to repeat their failures on their death day for all eternity." He stands up and he walks to one of the boarded windows and he points with it and he says, "Look."
I'll go up to the window and look.
Yep.
I will too.
There's a variety of windows you can peek through if you'd like.
Yeah, just trying to see outside.
Yeah. So you see an eerie green light that kind of suffuses the graveyard. And from this light, you see emerging a ghostly procession of well over 100 or so individuals, wavering images of doughty women toting great swords, wood-wise men with slender bows, dwarves with glittering axes, and archaically dressed mages with beards and strange pointed hats. All of these individuals and more march forth from a graveyard, their numbers growing by the second.
Yes,
You know-
the skeleton war.
Are they like ghosts? Or
They look to be some kind of spirits.
I was gonna.
Are we safe in here? What's gonna ask that to the old man?
He says, "They march upon the castle every evening to cast themselves deep, deep into the crypts of Strahd's tower. They disappear. This goes on every evening at midnight."
Do you know if they are still feeling this pain?
He looks back and he says, "Ask that one." And he points to the Dragonborn.
I just kind of turn to Saladin and I just kind of give him like an inquisitive look.
He kind of sighs and says, I had been in Barovia for 3 centuries.
That's a long time.
I died 3 centuries ago. He kind of looks down and says, I marched this same march as these ghosts for what seemed like an eternity, before I was visited by some pale figure, whispering to me niceties and nothings, promising of great valor in battle, and a death worthy of a warrior of my stature, whatever that even means.
Can I roll a religion check to see if like that means anything to me?
Sure, you may do so at advantage. You actually read something about this.
It's a 22.
You recognize the Ouroboros on his chest in mail to match one of the books that you took from the house that you were in, from that library.
What is it that does the book say, or?
Yes, it looks like it's of the Church of the Silver Dragon, or the Order of the Silver Dragon.
Hmm.
So it looks like he was perhaps a paladin or some sort of page of something that belonged to this very order.
Like Bahamut, like Silver Dragon, like.
Baham is platinum, but yes.
That's what yeah, okay. Alright.
So it looks like you're standing before somebody who either belonged to this order or a remnant of it and came back to free Barovia and was felled.
But like the figure that approached him, they talked all this niceties. Like, what is that's what I was getting at.
From what you can tell and what he described, it sounds a lot like the Morning Lord as well.
Okay.
I'm guessing I would recognize that as the Morning Lord.
No,
Like-
your Morning Lord was very distinct and he actually had a figure to him. He described more of a less nuanced individual, more silhouetted.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So essentially, it looks like Saladin probably was incidentally rescued from this dead march as a revenant and called back to do something or help someone or something. It would be probably highly indicative to you that perhaps he might have something to do with you guys.
Do you? I just I turned to him like, how long have you been back? Not one of those. They just kind of point out the window and without an actual like word for what it is.
He shakes his head and he says, "About a week."
A week. Okay.
He looks at you and says, I was told by the figure that a letter was sent, that those destined to destroy Strahd had been summoned.
I just kind of like look around our group, like assuming that he is talking about us, and I'm like, wait, you're talking about us?
He looks at you seriously.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have a hard time knowing that what I'm going to eat for lunch today, let alone if I'm going to be able to destroy some sort of basically, in for lack of a better term, god of a land, a wannabe god of a land, let's say, in respect to, I guess, the Morning Lord.
Mel, were you gonna say something? I heard you start to speak.
I'm just gonna be like, I don't know if we're what you're looking for here. I mean,
He looks at you and he says, at all times, all throughout the day, a revenant knows where his calling is and what he must do to follow through his vocation, that he may finally find rest. Is that true? He looks at Watt.
Well, I'm just like, I haven't been here for long, but yeah, that's what it feels like.
Saladin looks back at you and he says, I was told to come to Barovia, the village, by some force, and I'm here to serve for you. As long as you need me and can make use of me, I will be here in the village.
That is very kind of you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Amnon just kind of has his like one of his hands on like the top of his head, just kind of having a little bit of an existential crisis at the moment.
Mhm.
Just because, and he just kind of turns to him. He's like I just trying to say words aloud, but also just like kind of being like at a loss for words as to, like what we're doing.
Walt's just gonna like smile at him and be like, "All right, well, I'm glad I'm not the only undead one in the group."
The Dragonborn shakes his head and goes like, I will not follow you beyond these walls. I feel my final battle is here in Barovia, and I will not miss my opportunity for it. I'm sure you understand. But come the day that you are to face Strahd, I will be beside you.
Understandable.
Okay.
I guess we're facing Strahd.
Yeah.
Like,
He looks at you and says, you do realize that there's no leaving Barovia until either you are dead or Strahd lies at your feet, dead.
Well, have you tried to leave?
what happens if you try to leave?
I mean, have you really tried?
All who choose to leave Barovia die of the mist. I'm sure you have already encountered it.
Yeah, tried to fight it. It won.
No. I'll take your word for that one.
He looks at you and he says, I'm here to tell you. The ones who I traveled here with are still lost in this vale. An elf, 2 men, and a small gnome. Should you come across them, they will be of great assistance to you as well.
All right, we'll keep that in mind.
I think you may find the elf woman amongst her people in hiding outside of Vallaki.
Outside of where, Ian?
Vallaki.
Vallaki, okay.
He walks over to you, Mel, and he kind of digs into his bag and he pulls out something and he kind of like puts it into your palm without like revealing what it is. He looks seriously at you and he says, take this pendant to her. Ask for the elf raised by dragons.
Okay.
He slides his hand free from you, and he turns and he says, I think I must go back to Irina. You must take her to Vallaki.
All right. So it's a pendant for the elf raised by dragons, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna bring it up that I'm gonna say, well, we can't go back until morning, gestures to the spirits outside. So we might as well bless this body, get some rest, and then head back when it's light out.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
He the father kind of looks at you guys as he's kind of watching the people out. He turns away from the window and he says, I don't really know what to say about all of this other than you did come to help me, or really help yourselves escape Barovia. So I'd like to thank you for having a care about somebody here. So few people have any kind of attachments in Barovia. I warn you against making them.
We'll keep it in mind.
He walks over to you and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, no one has left Barovia in something close to 5 centuries. Perhaps more. All those who oppose Strahd He motions to the window. Walk these paths at night. See that you do not find yourself there.
Well, that's about to change.
If you're looking at the window, you see the young man that was a vampire just now is now walking amongst the dead as a spirit.
Oh,
Well, that's kind of dark.
all right. Well, what do you need? Let's get this body blessed so we can get some rest and get on our way.
Watt probably has the equipment that he needs along with the stuff
Yeah, I
that
have
came with
the-
his background. So
Yeah, I have the priest pack, so should have everything I need.
Perfect. I go to bed.
I'm gonna tell them all I got this. Y'all can go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that.
And do I need to make rolls or anything for this, or am I just?
Nah, you can take care of it.
Yeah.
So in the morning, you guys wake up, and the father helps you guys take the body out to the graveyard, and he helps you dig. Somebody helps him dig a hole, and that next morning, Irina and Ismark show up. Irina, you see, is kind of in her full armor, and she's got a cloak on that kind of masks her face. You see a handful of Barovians. Let's see here. There's about There's 5 of the villagers there watching. And you also see Saladin is there, back in his glamored appearance, so he doesn't look undead. And there's a small gathering. It's probably between you and the group of people. Probably about 10 to 12 people.
I've got my hood up, just by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of obscure my face.
Would people react to me being undead, or?
You would not be the first one they've seen.
Okay, so like
a revenant.
it's cool that I'm not glamored like Saladin is.
Amongst the people of this village, perhaps yes, but Saladin's also a dragonborn, so he's also partly glamored to scare them a little less.
Okay.
A dragonborn's one thing. An undead one, maybe not going to be able to pass that one off.
Yeah, fair enough.
So the priest says a few words, and Ismark gets up and starts giving a eulogy. And halfway through the eulogy, you hear a man amongst the crowd say, "I think I'd like to say something." You see Ismark go, sure. I don't mind, I suppose. Why not? Please, help yourself. You see a young man kind of approach the front and gathers up kind of like a couple of notes, and he sets them down on the like the little altar thing that's outside. And you see him pull back his hood, and he says, I have nothing but nice things to say about this man. Ismark's father was an interesting individual. Koldian was not one to be trifled with. And while Ismark is not necessarily his father, I have some admiration for him coming out and having a lovely funeral like this. The word lovely kind of bounces off your eardrums uncomfortably. The man kind of leans forward and he says, in fact, I think I'd like to thank Ismark for gathering so many wonderful people here today, that I may better understand what it is like to feel as you feel. Roll insight checks.
Yeah.
You said insight, my good sir?
Yes.
I rolled a
9.
10.
At
10.
my dude.
I rolled an 18.
Rolled a 6. Can Irina make an insight?
Norik, was that a nat 20?
Oh,
It was my
rolled a
dude.
20.
Your boy Nat 20'd on a +7.
Irina rolled an at 20?
No,
Irina rolled a 20 total.
Davros.
Oh, okay. So Davros, Norik, and Irina, There's something very odd and uncomfortable about this man's speech, so much so that it strikes you almost familiar in the way he's syntaxing things, the way he puts sentences together. Eric, Irina instantly recognizes Strahd.
Oh shit.
Oh yay!
She reaches for her rapier and is like holding it.
All of you see Irina stand up and draw her weapon.
I didn't say I was drawing it. I was
You kind of just put your hand on that handle.
yeah.
Okay, so he kind of keeps talking and he kind of flits his eye over to Irina, and he says aloud, "I'd like to thank Miss Irina here for being an example of what it is truly to be a daughter, a child of the great Coilin. Strength, aptitude, and preparation embodied in one. Almost strange to think that she is not the successor, but rather Ismark. If I may add to that, there's something almost vexing about her awareness of such situations." He kind of steps away, and as he kind of like walks past the casket, it's instantly set ablaze. You see his form kind of like slowly shift into Strahd, and he says, "You think the daytime keeps me from walking in my own land, fools?"
So I think Irina would just be like freaking out, and then she would probably like try to stop the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Try to like find something to like
Yeah.
put out the fire with.
Saladin's gonna shoot up and grab her by the arm, and he's gonna look at her, and he says, "The Valaki, you need to run."
She hesitates, and then just like stares Strahd straight in the eyes, like with this. It's not like a glaring look. It's almost like a
General MacArthur, I'll be back kind of thing.
No, I think it's more like that plus like a little bit of fear.
Okay. He has a very subtle grin on his face as he looks at the party, and he says, "Are you not ready to challenge me then?" You see several wolves come creeping out of corners of the cemetery, and you see probably half of the graveyard's denizens start to climb out of their little hovels. You see Ismark kind of like jump up from his from where he was standing. He jumps back from where he's standing, and he draws his blade, and he looks back at Mel, and he says, "Get Irina out of here!"
So yeah, Mel's gonna go over and grab her.
Okay.
Drag her away. She resists the whole time. Probably has to get. We have the same strength, so I imagine it's just
Yeah.
I just drag her away.
Mm-hmm. What is everybody else doing? This is a sizably larger horse than you guys.
I'm jumping to my feet and I'm gonna try to follow after Mel.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see
said
Saladin and Ismark kind of like run at the group. You see Strahd kind of grab Ismark by the throat and throw him through one of the boarded windows of the church. You see Father Donovan turn to run away as one of the wolves jumps on his back leg and bites him, and you see a pack of just jump on him as he starts screaming. And you see Saladin run up and punch Strahd in the face. And you see Strahd kind of like slowly tilt his head back, and you see him lick blood off the side of his lip, and he kind of makes the face like, It's a good hit. You see him punch Saladin and send Saladin through the brick wall of the house, of the church.
Holy shit. Like, is that like toward the side of the church, or like toward the front?
To the back end.
Oh, okay.
He sends him through the steeple side where the bell is.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you remember how I showed you on the map? There's like a rounded back to the church.
Yep.
He sends him through that. He sends him through that ground floor wall.
Damn.
Question: is this like every movie cliche funeral ever where there's a storm above us?
It's a cloudy day because it's Barovia.
Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna use Call Lightning to create the storm above us. And is Strahd next to anyone else? Or
Oh,
is it, like,
Strahd's
just
gonna
him?
Strahd's gonna cast Dispel Magic. The fuck you gonna do that? No, absolutely not.
I turn around and look at Watt trying to do something. I'm like, dude, this is a fight we can't win. We gotta leave.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so you would see Strahd spell that spell, and you'd be like, oh man.
Yeah, I'm like, I wasn't afraid because I know I can't actually die, but like now I'm actually kind of afraid.
You think
He has
Strahd
to dispel
cares?
Yeah.
Spell it in the most dramatic way possible, though.
Yeah, you see thunderclouds start to form, and Strahd kind of like chuckles and laughs, and you see him like draw his sword from his scabbard, and he raises his sword up. There's a lightning bolt strikes where he would have stood. He kind of like spins the blade to the ground as another bolt comes back up. He flicks the blade back at the bolt. This bolt leaving from his blade is a red lightning bolt. It strikes Watts, blowing it to pieces. It sails up into the sky, strikes the clouds, and the clouds all start turning into red bolts as they all start crashing around you guys.
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh.
Okay, can I dispel the clouds at this point?
It's his spell now. No.
God damn it. I'm like, yeah, we
Alright.
need to go. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Dijo climbs on someone's back. Whoever's
Now,
closest to him.
I'm just, as I turn around saying let's go, I scoop Dijo up and just throw him on my shoulder.
You hear the sounds of Strahd's laughter echoing around you as though it was the thunder itself.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I'm about getting the fuck out of there.
Alrighty. So you guys start running, and where are you going? Velaki is a very, very. You just trying to get out of town?
Yeah.
I guess we're trying to get away from this situation first of all,
Okay.
and then
Could I roll with like a survival check to see if there's any places nearby where we could hide?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Cool. I'm gonna do that real quick. 24.
So you would have at some point heard about a small Vistani camp that's just outside of town that you could probably run to and lay low at.
I'm gonna suggest that to everyone as we're running and like let them know which direction.
Yeah, good
All right.
plan. Better than my plan.
Good.
Let's just go.
Cool. I just start running and leading them there.
Okay. So unfortunately, we're actually out of time for this episode.
Damn.
So we're gonna pick back up on where you guys are and what's happening as you exit town. But you are going to be able to get out of town.
Get out of town.
all right.
Alrighty. So thank you guys so much for listening to Your Daily Dungeons rendition of Curse of Strahd. Hope you're enjoying it, and catch us next week for some more vampiric action. Again, guys, thank you so much, and keep on rolling.